Hello, my amazing students, and welcome back to English in Fluency. This is your absolute go-to place, your personal learning hub, the special spot where we help you truly practice your English listening and speaking, really dig deep to refine your understanding, and build up your confidence, brick by brick, day by day, all while exploring real-life topics and learning something new and super valuable for your life and your mindset. Skills that will serve you well for years to come. I'm Alex, your dedicated guide on this exciting journey of discovery and growth. And honestly, I am just so incredibly happy you are here with me today. It truly means the world to me to have you tune in, to share this precious time with me as we explore another exciting topic that I believe can make a real, tangible, and positive difference for you, right now and in your future. You know, as I sit here recording this, I often find myself thinking about where you might be listening from right now, picturing your surroundings, imagining your day unfolding. Perhaps you're in the cozy comfort of your home, maybe sipping a warm cup of coffee or tea, feeling that quiet peace as the morning light gently streams in through your window. Perhaps with the soft sounds of birds chirping outside, or the distant comforting hum of city life, creating a gentle background soundtrack to your learning. Or maybe you're on the bus during your daily commute, watching the world go by outside your window, lost in thoughtful reflection, letting the rhythm of the journey accompany your thoughts, finding a moment of calm in a busy day, a perfect little pocket of time for a podcast. Perhaps you're cooking a delicious meal for your family, filling your kitchen with wonderful smells and the gentle, comforting sounds of your daily routine, multitasking like a pro, and still making time for your English practice, fitting it into your busy schedule, or even just relaxing quietly at home with your headphones on, letting your mind wander and unwind after a busy day, finding a precious moment of peace and calm just for yourself. A little mental break. No matter where you are, no matter what you're doing, I just want to say a huge, sincere, and personal thank you for taking this precious time for yourself, for investing in your personal and professional growth, for choosing to learn and grow, because that really matters. It truly makes a difference, and it's something to be profoundly proud of. Give yourself a pat on the back for that. Here on English in Fluency, our consistent and unwavering goal is always to talk about learning English in a way that feels easy to understand, that's genuinely fun and engaging, and truly useful for you in your everyday life. We want to make your learning journey both effective and, well, just super enjoyable and rewarding. A real adventure that you look forward to every single time you press play. And today, we are diving into a very important topic, something that can open so many doors for you, both personally and professionally, and even boost your English skills in unexpected, powerful ways. It's all about setting boundaries. Now, you might be thinking, Alex, how does setting boundaries help me with my English? And that's a fantastic question. For you, my intermediate English learners, this episode is a golden opportunity. As we explore this topic, you'll naturally expand your vocabulary with words and phrases that native speakers use every single day in real conversations about personal space, relationships, and self-care. You'll practice your listening comprehension by following detailed explanations and human-like storytelling. You will also learn how to express your own needs and limits clearly and kindly in English, which is a crucial skill for confident communication in any language. So, while we're learning a vital life lesson about protecting your peace, you're simultaneously giving your English skills a powerful workout. You may have heard the word boundaries before, perhaps in a book or a conversation, but maybe you are not entirely sure what it really means. Or perhaps you understand the concept, but you find it incredibly hard to set them in your own life. Don't worry at all. Today we will go step by step and explain everything in a simple and easy way, breaking down this complex idea into manageable parts. My goal is to help you understand this topic clearly and help you practice your English at the same time, making your learning journey doubly effective. So why is setting boundaries so important, you might ask? Well, without clear, well-defined boundaries, it is incredibly easy for other people, sometimes without even realizing it, to take too much of your precious time, your valuable energy, or your essential personal space. You might find yourself feeling constantly tired, perpetually stressed, or even deeply unhappy because you are consistently doing things you don't truly want to do, or saying yes when your heart is screaming no. Setting boundaries helps you protect your personal space, your emotional well-being, and your feelings. It helps you clearly show others how you want to be treated, setting the standard for your interactions. And most importantly, it helps you respect yourself, honoring your own needs and limits, which is the foundation of all healthy relationships. In today's episode, we are going to explore what boundaries really are, truly understanding this powerful and often misunderstood concept. We will talk about why it can sometimes be incredibly hard to set boundaries, even when you know deep down in your heart that you desperately need them. We will also discuss how you can recognize the clear signs that tell you it's time to set a boundary, listening to your inner signals. And I will share simple, actionable steps you can follow to do this effectively in your daily life, giving you practical tools. We will also look at how people might react when you set a boundary, as not everyone will respond positively, and how you can handle these reactions with confidence and grace, maintaining your inner peace. Finally, we will talk about the amazing, wonderful things that happen when you start setting healthy boundaries, like feeling significantly less stress, building stronger, more authentic relationships, and having more precious time for yourself to pursue your passions and recharge. So sit back, relax, and get ready to learn something new and truly transformative today. You can listen to this episode as many times as you like to practice your English, letting the words and phrases sink in. You can also try speaking along with me or repeating some of the sentences to practice your speaking, really getting comfortable with these new phrases and expressions. Remember, at English in Fluency, we are here to help you learn English in a fun, simple, and incredibly useful way, making your learning journey enjoyable and impactful. Let's get started. Gertie, let's begin by truly understanding what boundaries really are. The word boundary might sound a little strange or formal at first, perhaps like something you'd find in a legal document, but it is actually a very simple and profoundly powerful idea in our everyday lives. Imagine a boundary as an invisible line you create, a personal border, to show where something starts and where it ends for you. It's a clear way of saying, "This is okay for me, this feels right," or "This is not okay for me, this crosses my personal line." This invisible line helps people understand what you are comfortable with and what you are not comfortable with, making your limits clear and unambiguous. Ultimately, boundaries help you protect your feelings, your valuable time, and your essential personal space. They are like small, personal rules you make for yourself and for others, so you can feel safe, respected, and happy in your life, creating a deep sense of peace and control over your own existence. There are many types of boundaries, because they apply to all areas of our lives, touching every interaction we have. Let's explore a few common ones that you'll encounter in your daily life. First, there are emotional boundaries. These are all about your feelings and emotions, and how you want them to be treated and respected by others. For example, you may not want to share very personal stories or deep private secrets with someone you don't trust yet, someone you've just met. Or you may not feel comfortable when someone speaks to you in a rude, aggressive, or hurtful way, even if they claim they are just joking. Setting an emotional boundary means you clearly tell others how you want to be treated emotionally, setting a standard for respectful communication. You can say things like, "Please don't speak to me like that. It makes me feel uncomfortable and disrespected." Or, "I'm not ready to talk about this very personal topic right now. I need some space with my feelings before I can share." Next, we have physical boundaries. These are about your body and your personal space, the physical distance you need from others to feel safe and comfortable. Imagine you are sitting quietly on a bus, enjoying your journey, and someone sits very, very close to you, almost touching you, even when there are many empty seats around. That can feel incredibly uncomfortable, even a little alarming, right? Or perhaps you don't like it when someone touches you without asking permission, even if they are just being friendly or trying to get your attention by patting your arm. Physical boundaries let people know how close they can get to you and what kind of physical touch is okay and what is not. You can politely say, "Please give me some space. I need a little room to feel comfortable." Or, "I don't like hugs, thank you. But a handshake is fine if you'd like to greet me." Another very important type is time boundaries. Time boundaries are about how you use your time and how you allow others to use it. Our time is incredibly precious. It's a non-renewable resource, and we only have so much of it each day. For example, if a friend often calls you late at night, perhaps after 10 p.m., when you are trying to sleep and prepare for the next day, that can be a real problem for your rest and energy levels. Or if a coworker always asks you to help with their work, constantly piling tasks on you, when you are already busy with your own important tasks and deadlines, that can make you feel incredibly stressed and overwhelmed. Setting time boundaries means you decide how much time you can realistically give to others and how much time you truly need for yourself, for your own rest and personal activities. You can say, "I can help you, but only for 10 minutes right now. Then I need to get back to my own work and focus on my priorities." Or, "I need to leave at 5 p.m. today, so I can't stay late for that meeting." Finally, there are personal space boundaries, which are closely connected to physical boundaries, but also include your belongings, your private areas like your home or room, and your overall surroundings. For example, maybe you don't like it when someone goes through your bag or uses your personal things without asking permission, feeling like your privacy is invaded. Or perhaps you need some quiet time in your room to relax and recharge after a busy, noisy day, and you don't want to be disturbed. Setting personal space boundaries means you tell others what is private for you and what you need to feel comfortable and secure in your own environment. You can say, "Please don't go through my things. They are private, and I prefer to keep them that way." Or, "I need some quiet time alone in my room right now. Please respect that, and don't interrupt." Now you may ask, and it's a very valid question, why does everyone need boundaries? The answer is simple, and so profoundly important. Boundaries help us take care of ourselves, truly nurturing our physical, mental, and emotional well-being. Without boundaries, people might unknowingly take too much from us, too much time, too much energy, or too much personal space, constantly pouring from an empty cup. We might start to feel constantly tired, perpetually upset, or even deeply angry because we are consistently doing things we don't truly want to do, things that drain our spirit and leave us feeling empty. We might find ourselves saying yes to things we actually want to say no to, just because we are afraid of hurting someone's feelings or causing a problem or disappointment. But when we don't set boundaries, we end up hurting ourselves in the long run, sacrificing our own peace, happiness, and even our health. Boundaries also help other people understand us better. When we are clear about our needs and limits, we make it much easier for others to know how to treat us with respect and consideration. Avoiding misunderstandings. Boundaries are not about being rude or pushing people away. Not at all. They are about creating healthy, positive, and balanced relationships where everyone feels respected, where there's a fair exchange of giving and receiving. When you set good boundaries, you show people that you respect yourself, that you value your own worth, and by doing so, you invite them to respect you too, creating a beautiful cycle of mutual respect and understanding. Remember, everyone has the right to set boundaries, no matter how old you are, where you come from, or what kind of relationships you have. Whether it's with family, friends, co-workers, or even strangers, boundaries help you stay true to yourself. They help you create a life that feels good, safe, and balanced. A life that truly belongs to you, not one dictated by others' demands. And the best part? You can start learning how to set boundaries today, step by step, in small but incredibly powerful ways that will transform your life. Let's now talk even more deeply about why setting boundaries is so important. Many people don't realize just how much boundaries can change their lives in a truly positive and profound way. They might think boundaries are only about saying no or keeping people away, like building a cold, unapproachable wall. But that's not true at all. Boundaries are actually about creating healthy, respectful, and balanced relationships, both with others and, crucially, with yourself, fostering a sense of harmony. First, setting boundaries helps you protect your energy and time. Every person has only so much energy in a day. It's a limited resource, just like money in your wallet. If you keep saying yes to everything, constantly agreeing to requests, soon you will feel completely tired and utterly overwhelmed, like you're carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders. Imagine you keep helping friends, co-workers, or family all day long, constantly giving and giving. But you never take time to rest or care for yourself. After a while, you will feel totally exhausted, like your battery is completely empty, and you won't have the energy to do the things that are truly important to you, the things that bring you joy or help you move forward in your own life. By setting clear limits, you can make sure you have time to rest, relax, and focus on your own needs, effectively recharging your battery and restoring your vitality. Another incredibly important reason is that boundaries help you feel more respected. When you clearly tell people what you can and cannot do, what your limits are, they begin to understand your needs better. This teaches others how to treat you with care and respect, because you've shown them where your boundaries lie. For example, if you tell a friend you need quiet time in the evening and they listen to you and respect that, you feel valued and understood, and your friendship deepens. On the other hand, if you never say anything, people may keep crossing your lines without even realizing it, which can lead to deep frustration or hurt feelings building up silently inside you, eventually damaging the relationship. Boundaries are also important because they help you build healthier and stronger relationships. This might seem counterintuitive, as some believe saying no pushes people away. But it's true. Many people think that saying yes to everything and always being available will make people like them more. But in fact, the opposite is often true. When you have no boundaries, relationships can become unbalanced and unhealthy, with one person constantly giving too much and the other taking too much. You might feel taken advantage of, or you might become quietly angry at the people you care about, even resenting them. But when you set clear, respectful boundaries, your relationships become healthier and more balanced, built on mutual respect. You can truly enjoy your time with others without feeling exhausted or used. Your friends, family, and co-workers will also understand you better because you are being honest and clear about your needs, which deepens the connection and builds genuine trust and authenticity. Let me share a simple example of a success story that illustrates this perfectly. Imagine a woman named Anna. Anna always said yes to everything, helping at work, taking care of family needs, and being there for friends at all hours, constantly putting others first. She was kind and generous, but she was also constantly tired, stressed, and secretly unhappy. One day, Anna decided to start setting small boundaries, one step at a time. She told her co-workers she could only help during work hours, not on weekends. She told her family she needed 1 hour each day just for herself, a sacred time for quiet. She told her friends she couldn't always answer calls right away, and would call them back when she was free. At first, some people were surprised, and a few were even a little upset. But over time, they began to respect Anna's limits. Anna started to feel more peaceful, more in control of her own life, and even more joyful. Her relationships improved because they became more honest and balanced, and she had more energy to give when she chose to help others. Anna's life became much healthier and happier, all because she learned the powerful art of setting boundaries. So, as you can see, setting boundaries is not about pushing people away or being selfish. It's about creating a life where you can care for yourself and enjoy balanced, respectful relationships. It's about reducing stress and making room for the things that matter most to you, the things that nourish your soul. And it's about showing the world that you respect yourself, which naturally invites others to respect you as well. Now, let's talk about why this can be so difficult for so many of us. Now that we understand what boundaries are and why they are so incredibly important, let's talk about something that many people experience. Why is it so hard to set boundaries? You might think that setting a boundary is simple. You just tell someone what you need or what you don't want. But in real life, it can feel much more difficult, almost impossible sometimes. Many people struggle with setting boundaries, even when they know deep down they should. Let's explore why this happens, looking into the common reasons that hold us back. One big reason people find it hard to set boundaries is fear. You might be afraid that if you say no to someone, they will get upset, or angry, or even disappointed. Maybe you think they will stop liking you, or that they will even leave you completely, abandoning the relationship. It's a scary thought, isn't it? So instead of speaking openly and being real, we often stay quiet, or we say what we think others want to hear, just to fit in and avoid conflict. We hide parts of ourselves because we're scared of not being accepted, of not being liked, of being seen as difficult. That fear can be super strong, especially in our families, at work, or in cultures where how you appear to others matters a lot, where saving face is a big deal, and directness can be seen as rude. It's a deep human need to belong, and the fear of losing that connection can make honesty and boundary setting feel incredibly risky. Another common reason is guilt. Many people feel a strong sense of guilt when they try to set boundaries, as if they are doing something wrong. They might think, I should help because I'm a good person, and good people always help others. Or, if I say no, I'm being selfish and unkind. But the truth is, setting boundaries is not selfish at all. It's an act of self-care and self-respect, which is healthy. Still, guilt can be a powerful emotion, making you feel bad about taking care of your own needs, making you doubt yourself and your right to say no. For example, imagine your co-worker asks you to stay late and help with a project, but you already have plans to go home and rest, or spend time with your family. You want to say no, but you feel a wave of guilt because you don't want to let them down or appear unhelpful. So you stay and help, even though you are tired and your plans are ruined, leaving you feeling resentful. This guilt can make it very hard to protect your own time and energy, leaving you drained and unhappy. A third reason people struggle with boundaries is the strong desire to please others. Many of us deeply want to make people happy, to be seen as agreeable and helpful. We like hearing people say, "Thank you, you're the best," or "I'm so glad you helped me. I couldn't have done it without you." We crave that positive feedback and approval, and we don't want to disappoint anyone. But when you always try to please others, constantly putting their needs first, you can completely forget about your own needs and desires, neglecting yourself. For example, imagine you are always the one who organizes plans for your group of friends. You handle all the details, make all the calls, and constantly check on everyone, ensuring they are happy. But after a while, you feel utterly exhausted, burdened, and perhaps even a little used. You wish someone else would take over. But you're so used to making everyone happy, so you keep doing it. Wanting to please others can make it incredibly difficult to step back and say, "I need a break," or "I can't do that right now. Someone else needs to take the lead." Sometimes people also struggle with boundaries because they simply don't know how to say no in a clear but kind way. They may not have learned the specific skills or the right language to express their limits respectfully and effectively. Perhaps they were taught as children that saying no is rude, or that you should always be helpful and agreeable, never causing a fuss. So now, as adults, they feel incredibly uncomfortable and awkward when they try to set boundaries, stumbling over their words. For example, if your neighbor keeps asking you for small favors like watering their plants or picking up their mail, you might not know how to politely say no, even when you are busy and overwhelmed with your own responsibilities. You might worry that you will sound unfriendly or mean, even though you're just protecting your time. It's also important to remember that sometimes cultural or family expectations can make setting boundaries much harder. In some cultures or families, there's a strong belief that you should always help your relatives, no matter what, no questions asked, as a sign of loyalty and respect. Saying no to a parent, an elder, or a sibling might feel deeply wrong or disrespectful, even if you are feeling completely overwhelmed and stretched thin, unable to give any more. For example, maybe your parents expect you to help with everything at home, constantly, even when you have a lot of schoolwork or your own demanding job. You want to set a boundary, but you are afraid it will cause big problems or conflict in the family, or that you will be seen as ungrateful or disloyal. All of these examples show that while setting boundaries is healthy and absolutely necessary for your well-being, it can also bring up strong, uncomfortable emotions like fear, guilt, or deep discomfort. But here's the good news. You are not alone in this. Many people around the world face these same challenges, these same inner struggles. Learning to set boundaries is like learning any new skill, like learning English itself. It takes time, practice, and patience. You don't have to be perfect right away. You can start small with simple boundaries and slowly build your confidence, step by step. The more you practice, the easier it becomes, and the more natural it feels. Now, let's explore how you can recognize when it's time to set those important limits. Let's now talk about something very important. How to know when you need boundaries. Sometimes people don't even realize they need to set boundaries until they feel completely overwhelmed, utterly exhausted, or deeply unhappy. They might wonder why they feel so tired or stressed all the time, but they don't connect it to the fact that they are giving too much of themselves to others, constantly pouring from an empty cup, leaving nothing for themselves. That's why it's so important to pay close attention to the subtle and not so subtle signs your body and mind are giving you. These signs are like alarm bells, telling you that it's time to stop, think, and set some healthy limits to protect your well-being and restore your balance. One clear and very common sign is feeling tired all the time. Of course, we all get tired sometimes. That's normal after a long day of work or activity. But if you always feel exhausted, even after you rest or sleep, if that feeling of fatigue is constant, it may be a strong sign that you are giving too much of your energy to other people. Maybe you are always helping a friend who calls you at all hours of the day and night, needing to talk. Or maybe you are working late every single day because your boss keeps asking for more and more from you, piling on tasks. When you give too much without recharging, your body feels it deeply, and you start to run out of energy, feeling depleted and worn out. This is your body's way of telling you that you need to create some boundaries to protect yourself and your vital energy. Another important sign is feeling stressed or anxious. If you often feel worried, nervous, or like you can't relax, like you're always on edge, constantly anticipating the next demand, it might be because people are crossing your boundaries without you realizing it. For example, maybe a coworker keeps asking you for help with their tasks, even when you are busy with your own important work and deadlines. Or maybe a family member keeps demanding your time and attention when you desperately need space and quiet for yourself. These situations can cause a lot of stress because you feel like you have no control over your own life, like you're constantly reacting to others. When you set boundaries, you take back control, you reclaim your power, and your stress levels will naturally go down, bringing you a sense of calm and peace. You might also notice feeling annoyed, frustrated, or even angry. Have you ever been upset with someone but didn't quite understand why? Feeling a bubbling irritation inside? Maybe a friend keeps canceling plans at the last minute, leaving you hanging and wasting your time. Or maybe a neighbor keeps borrowing your things without asking and never returning them. You might tell yourself, it's okay, or it's not a big deal, trying to dismiss your feelings. But inside, you feel annoyed or even angry. This is another clear sign that your boundaries are being crossed. It's your mind's way of telling you, hey, something is not right here, and you need to address it. Paying attention to these feelings, acknowledging them instead of suppressing them, helps you understand exactly where you need to set limits. Another common feeling is feeling used or taken advantage of. This happens when people expect you to always be available, always say yes, or always help, even when it's too much for you, when you're already at your absolute limit. For example, maybe a friend always asks for favors but never offers to help you in return, making the relationship feel incredibly one-sided. Or maybe your boss keeps giving you extra tasks because they know you won't complain or say no. When you feel like people only come to you when they want something, when they need something from you, and not to genuinely connect, it's a strong sign that you need to create boundaries to protect your time and energy, and to ensure your relationships are balanced and fair. Let me share a few simple examples of everyday situations where boundaries are clearly needed, so you can easily recognize them in your own life. Imagine you have a friend who calls you every single night to talk about their problems, for hours and hours. You care about them deeply, but after a while, you start to feel completely drained because you never have time for yourself to relax or unwind. This is a clear sign that you need to set a boundary. Maybe by gently telling them you can only talk a few times a week, or only for a short time in the evening, so you can get your rest. Another example. At work, a coworker keeps asking you to finish their part of a group project, constantly relying on you to do their work. You feel stressed because you already have a lot to do yourself and are struggling to keep up. This is a clear sign you need to set a boundary by politely telling them you can't take on more work and they need to manage their own tasks. Or maybe at home, a family member keeps entering your room without knocking, and you start feeling like you have no personal space or privacy, feeling constantly invaded. That's another place where a boundary is needed. You can kindly explain that you need them to knock before coming in, respecting your private space. It's incredibly important to remember that noticing these feelings doesn't make you a bad person or selfish. You are not selfish or mean for wanting to protect your time, energy, or space. Everyone has limits. Everyone has a breaking point. And it's healthy to recognize when yours are being pushed too far. By paying attention to the signs, tiredness, stress, annoyance, feeling used, you can take action before you become completely burned out or deeply unhappy, preventing further emotional and physical strain. Now, let's dive into the practical steps you can take to set these important boundaries in your own life. Now that we've talked about why boundaries are important and why they can be hard to set, it's time to learn the practical side. How to set boundaries step by step. Many people feel nervous or unsure when they try to set boundaries for the first time. And that's completely normal. It's a new skill. But the truth is, it's something anyone can learn with a little practice and a lot of patience. Here, I'll walk you through 5 simple, actionable steps that can help you set healthy, respectful boundaries in your life, giving you a clear roadmap. Remember, you don't have to do it perfectly right away. You just have to start, and each attempt is a step forward. The first step, and this is absolutely fundamental, is to know your limits. Before you can effectively tell someone else what you need, You absolutely have to understand it yourself, clearly and honestly. Take some quiet time, perhaps with a journal, to ask yourself, what makes me feel uncomfortable? What situations consistently leave me feeling tired, upset, or stressed? When do I feel like someone is crossing a line, even a small, subtle one? For example, maybe you feel annoyed when a friend texts you constantly all day while you're working, interrupting your focus and flow. Or maybe you feel exhausted when you say yes to too many social invitations, leaving you no time for yourself to relax and recharge. Take some time to notice when your body or mind is giving you signals, like feeling tense, frustrated, or overwhelmed. These feelings are like clear clues, like a gentle alarm, telling you that you might need a boundary. Knowing your limits is about understanding your own needs and paying attention to what truly feels right for you. Honoring your inner voice and intuition. The second step is to be clear and simple when you communicate your boundary. When you're ready to speak up, you don't need to give long, complicated explanations, or make elaborate excuses, or provide many unnecessary details. You just need to clearly and directly say what you need or what you can't do. For example, if a coworker keeps asking you for help when you are busy, you can simply and politely say, "I'm sorry, I can't help you with that right now. I'm focused on another deadline that needs my full attention." Or if a friend always shows up late and it consistently bothers you, you can say, "I'd like us to meet on time, please, because my schedule is tight and I have other commitments." Clear and simple language helps people understand your boundary without confusion or misinterpretation. If you talk too much or make it complicated, they might not know what you really want, and your message gets lost in the details. The third step is to use I statements. This is a very powerful and effective way to communicate your needs. It means you talk about your own feelings and needs instead of blaming the other person, which can immediately put them on the defensive. This makes your message much easier for them to hear and understand without feeling attacked. For example, instead of saying, "You never listen to me," which sounds like a direct accusation, you can say, "I feel hurt when I'm not listened to, and I need to feel heard and understood in our conversations," instead of saying, "You're always asking too much from me," which can sound critical. You can say, "I need some time for myself to recharge, and I'm not able to take on more right now, as I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed." Using I statements makes your message sound more gentle, more personal, and less like an attack. People are usually much more open to listening when they don't feel blamed or criticized. They become defensive if they feel attacked. Shutting down communication. The fourth step is to stay calm and kind. It's completely normal to feel nervous when you set a boundary, especially if you're not used to it, as it can feel like a confrontation. But try your absolute best to keep your voice calm and your words polite and respectful. You don't need to get angry or upset to set a strong, effective boundary. In fact, the calmer and more composed you are, the more powerful and respected your message becomes, as it shows you are serious and in control. For example, if someone raises their voice at you, you can calmly say, "I'd like to continue this conversation, when we're both calm and can speak respectfully to each other. Or if a family member keeps interrupting your quiet time, you can kindly say, "I need a little time alone right now to focus, but we can talk later. I promise. I'll come find you when I'm free." Being kind doesn't mean you are weak. It means you respect yourself and the other person at the same time, showing maturity and emotional intelligence. The fifth and final step is to practice and be patient. Setting boundaries is not always easy at first, and it's important to understand that people may not always respect them right away. That's okay. It's part of the learning process for everyone involved. It takes time to change how we communicate and how others respond to us, as old habits are hard to break. Be patient with yourself as you practice, and be patient with others as they adjust. You might need to repeat your boundary a few times, gently but firmly, before someone really understands and starts to respect it. For example, if your friend keeps texting you late at night even after you ask them not to, you might need to gently remind them again, "Remember, I go to bed early so I can't reply late at night. I need my sleep." Over time, as you keep practicing and remain consistent, you will become more confident and more comfortable with setting boundaries, and others will learn to respect your limits, seeing that you are serious and consistent. Remember, setting boundaries is a skill, just like learning English or learning to play a musical instrument. The more you practice, the better you get, and the more natural it feels. You don't have to be perfect, and you don't have to get everything right the first time. What's important is that you keep trying and stay true to yourself. You deserve to have your needs respected, and you have the right to protect your time, your space, and your energy. Now, let's consider what happens when people don't immediately respect your boundaries, and how you can handle those situations with grace and strength. Now that we've learned the practical steps to set boundaries, let's talk about something very important: how to handle the reactions from others. The truth is, even when you set your boundaries kindly and clearly, not everyone will react in a positive way. Some people might feel genuinely surprised, others might be confused, or even upset when you start setting limits, especially if they are used to you always saying yes or always helping them. If they've gotten accustomed to you being constantly available and accommodating. But this does not mean you are doing something wrong. It simply means there's a shift happening in the dynamic of your relationship. And change can be uncomfortable for anyone. Let's talk about how to deal with these situations and how you can stay strong and confident in your new boundary-setting journey. First, it's important to understand that some people might not like your boundaries at first. This is a natural human reaction to change and a perceived loss of convenience. Maybe they were used to you giving them a lot of your time and attention, and now you are saying no more often. Maybe they expected you to always help, listen, or support them without question. And now you are protecting your own needs. This change, this new way of relating, can feel uncomfortable for both you and them as they adjust to your new limits. For example, if you usually help a coworker with their tasks, but now you tell them you're too busy, they might act disappointed or even a little annoyed. Perhaps making a comment about you not being a team player. Or if you tell a friend you can't go out because you need time for yourself, they might feel hurt or confused, thinking you don't want to spend time with them anymore. These reactions are normal, but remember, just because someone is unhappy does not mean you are wrong in setting your boundary. Your feelings and needs are valid and deserve to be respected. When people react negatively, it's crucial that you don't give up on your boundary. It's easy to feel a wave of guilt or fear and think, maybe I should just say yes, it's not worth the trouble. Or, maybe it's easier if I just do what they want to avoid conflict and keep the peace. But remember why you set the boundary in the first place: to take care of your own needs, protect your energy, and create healthy, balanced relationships. Giving up on your boundary may bring short-term peace and avoid immediate discomfort. But in the long run, it can leave you feeling perpetually tired, deeply frustrated, or even profoundly resentful. And the underlying problem will just come back, perhaps even stronger. So stay calm and firm. You can say things like, I understand you're upset, but I need to stick to this boundary for my well-being and my own commitments. Or, I know this is new, but it's important for me to have this time-space to recharge. You don't have to explain yourself over and over, or justify your needs endlessly. Just repeat your boundary kindly and clearly, showing you mean it and that it's not up for debate. Another helpful tip is to prepare yourself emotionally for potential reactions. Before you set a boundary, take a moment to remind yourself that you are doing something good and necessary for your health and well-being. If someone reacts with anger, guilt, or sadness, remember that is their emotion to manage, not yours. You are not responsible for making everyone happy all the time. That's an impossible and exhausting task. For example, if your sibling complains that you don't help them as much as before, you can gently remind yourself that you are allowed to take care of yourself too, and that your needs are important. It's okay to care about others' feelings, but you should not sacrifice your own happiness and peace just to avoid conflict or disapproval. It's also incredibly useful to practice self-encouragement after you set a boundary. This is a new skill, and it takes courage and resilience. After a tough conversation, take a moment to acknowledge your bravery. Tell yourself, I did something strong today. I stood up for myself. Or, I'm learning to protect my time and energy, and that's a good and healthy thing. You can even write it down in a journal or say it out loud to yourself. Encouraging yourself helps you build confidence over time, reinforcing this new positive behavior and making it easier next time. Setting boundaries is a new skill, and like all skills, it takes practice. You might not feel strong every time, but with each small success, you will become more comfortable and sure of yourself. If someone keeps pushing against your boundary or ignoring it, despite your clear communication, stay calm and repeat your message. You might need to say it a few times, perhaps using slightly different wording, but maintaining the same core message, before they truly understand you mean it and that you are serious about your limits. For example, if a coworker keeps asking for help even after you said no, you can calmly say, I have already explained that I can't help with that particular task today. I have my own priorities. If a friend keeps inviting you out, even when you need rest, you can say, "Thanks for the invite, but I really need quiet time today to recharge, so I won't be able to join." Over time, most people will begin to respect your limits when they see that you are consistent and clear, and that you are serious about maintaining your boundaries. Now, let's look at the amazing benefits that come from setting these boundaries, which make all this effort worthwhile. We've come a long way in this episode, and now it's time to focus on something really exciting: the incredible benefits of setting boundaries. You might be wondering, why should I do all this hard work? What will I truly gain if I start setting boundaries with people in my life? If it's so challenging? Well, let me tell you, there are many wonderful and transformative things that happen when you learn to set healthy boundaries. It may feel challenging at first. It might even be a little uncomfortable. But the positive results are absolutely worth every bit of effort. Let's explore some of the key benefits you will enjoy when you practice this important life skill. One of the first and most important benefits, and one you'll notice quickly, is gaining more respect from others. When you set clear boundaries, people begin to see you as someone who knows their own worth and who deeply values their time, energy, and feelings. You are showing the world that you take yourself seriously, that you value your own well-being and needs, and when you do that, others will naturally take you seriously too. For example, if you tell a friend that you can't answer late-night texts because you need sleep, and you stick to that rule consistently, over time, they will learn to respect your quiet hours and your need for rest. They might even admire you for knowing how to take care of yourself and prioritize your rest, seeing it as a sign of strength. Respect grows when people see that you are confident and clear about what you need, and that you are consistent in upholding your limits. Another huge benefit, and one that brings immediate and profound relief, is significantly less stress. When you have no boundaries, life can feel incredibly overwhelming, like a constant uphill battle where you're always fighting to keep your head above water. You might find yourself saying yes to everything, helping everyone, and feeling like you have no time for yourself at all, constantly running on empty. This leads directly to burnout, deep frustration, and even resentment towards those you're trying to help, creating a cycle of unhappiness. But when you start setting limits, you take back control of your time and energy, reclaiming your personal power. You begin to make space for rest, for your hobbies, for essential self-care, and for the things that truly matter to you, the things that recharge your spirit and bring you joy. For example, if you set a boundary at work that you won't answer emails after 6 p.m., you give yourself the precious chance to truly relax and enjoy your evenings, knowing your work is done for the day. You stop carrying the weight of everything on your shoulders, and your mind and body feel significantly calmer and more at peace. Perhaps one of the most beautiful and rewarding benefits is that you will enjoy better, more authentic relationships. This might sound counterintuitive, as some believe saying no pushes people away, but it's fundamentally true. Many people think that saying yes to everything and always being available will make people like them more. But in fact, the opposite is often true. When you have no boundaries, relationships can become unbalanced and unhealthy, with one person constantly giving too much and the other taking too much, leading to resentment. You might feel taken advantage of, or you might become quietly angry at the people you care about, even resenting them for constantly asking. But when you set clear, respectful boundaries, your relationships become healthier and more balanced, built on mutual respect and understanding. You can truly enjoy your time with others without feeling exhausted or used, because you are giving from a place of choice, not obligation. Your friends, family, and co-workers will also understand you better because you are being honest and clear about your needs, which deepens the connection and builds genuine trust and intimacy. Let me share a simple example of a success story that illustrates this perfectly. Imagine a woman named Anna. Anna always said yes to everything, helping at work, taking care of family needs, and being there for friends at all hours, constantly putting others first and neglecting herself. She was kind and generous, but she was also constantly tired, perpetually stressed, and secretly deeply unhappy, feeling overwhelmed and drained. One day, Anna decided enough was enough, and she bravely decided to start setting small boundaries, one step at a time, to reclaim her life. She told her co-workers she could only help during work hours, not on weekends. She told her family she needed 1 hour each day just for herself, a sacred time for quiet and reflection. She told her friends she couldn't always answer calls right away and would call them back when she was free and available. Managing expectations. At first, some people were surprised, and a few were even a little upset or confused by this change. But over time, they began to respect Anna's limits, seeing her consistency and newfound peace. Anna started to feel more peaceful, more in control of her own life, and even more joyful and energetic. Her relationships improved because they became more honest and balanced, built on mutual respect, and she had more energy to give when she chose to help others, truly giving from a place of abundance. Anna's life became much healthier and happier, all because she learned the powerful art of setting boundaries. So, as you can see, setting boundaries is not about pushing people away or being selfish. It's about creating a life where you can truly care for yourself and enjoy balanced, respectful relationships. It's about reducing stress and making room for the things that matter most to you, the things that nourish your soul and bring you genuine happiness. And it's about showing the world that you respect yourself, which naturally invites others to respect you as well, creating a ripple effect of positive change. Now, let's bring all these important ideas together with some final thoughts and encouragement as you embark on your own boundary-setting journey. We've now reached the end of today's episode, and I want to take this time to recap the key points we've talked about and leave you with some last words of encouragement and final thoughts. Setting boundaries is such an important life skill, a true game changer. And you've done an amazing job just by listening, learning, and thinking about how you can apply these ideas in your own life. Let's go over everything we've covered so far to help you remember the most important lessons from this episode. We started by talking about what boundaries are. We explained that boundaries are the invisible lines we draw to protect our time, energy, emotions, and space, creating a personal shield. We gave simple examples like saying no to extra work when you're too tired, or telling someone you need quiet time to recharge. We also explained why everyone needs boundaries, no matter who they are or what their relationships are like. Boundaries help us take care of ourselves so that we can live healthier, more peaceful, and more fulfilling lives. Then we talked about why it's often hard to set boundaries. We explored common feelings like fear of judgment, guilt, and the strong desire to please others, which often hold us back. We shared simple examples like feeling nervous when you tell a friend you can't help them, or feeling guilty when you say no to a family member's request. These feelings are normal. They are part of the human experience, but they shouldn't stop you from learning to set healthy limits and protecting your well-being. After that, we moved on to the practical steps to set boundaries. We walked through 5 simple yet powerful steps: knowing your limits, being clear and simple in your communication, using I statements, staying calm and kind, and practicing with patience and consistency. We explained how you can take small, manageable steps every day to strengthen your boundary-setting skills, and how these steps will help you feel more confident and empowered over time. We also discussed how to handle reactions from others. We explained that some people might not like your boundaries at first, and might react with surprise or even upset. But that doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. We gave tips on how to stay strong. Remind yourself why you set the boundary, and keep practicing even when it feels hard. You learned that you are not responsible for making everyone happy, and it's absolutely okay to protect your own well-being and happiness. Next, we explored the wonderful benefits of setting boundaries. We talked about the positive results you can enjoy, like gaining more respect, feeling significantly less stressed, and having healthier, more balanced, and more authentic relationships. We shared a simple success story to show you that setting boundaries can truly change your life for the better, leading to greater peace and joy. Now, as we wrap up, I want to give you some final, heartfelt encouragement. Remember, you don't have to be perfect at this right away. Setting boundaries is a skill, a muscle you are building. And like any skill, it takes time, consistent practice, and a lot of patience with yourself. You might feel nervous at first. You might make mistakes or face some challenges and pushback. But please, please, don't give up. Every small step you take is a victory. Every time you say no when you truly need to. Every time you protect your personal space or your valuable time. You are building a stronger, healthier, and happier you. Be proud of yourself for learning, for growing, and for taking these important steps to improve your life and well-being. I also want to remind you that you are absolutely not alone on this journey. Many people all over the world are learning these same lessons, facing the same challenges, and working to build healthier boundaries in their own lives. You are part of a global community of people who are trying to live better, more balanced, and more authentic lives. So be gentle with yourself. Celebrate your progress, no matter how small it seems, and know that you are doing something very valuable for yourself, and, by extension, for the people around you. As healthier you leads to healthier relationships. Thank you so much for joining me today on this episode of English in Fluency. I'm really happy that you chose to spend this time with me, learning and practicing your English listening skills while also learning something profoundly important about life. I hope you found this episode helpful, encouraging, and truly useful, not just for your English learning, but also for your personal growth and peace of mind. If you enjoyed this episode, I invite you to listen again to help reinforce what you've learned. Repetition is a great way to strengthen both your English skills and your understanding of the topic, making these lessons stick. You can also share this podcast with a friend or family member who might benefit from learning about setting boundaries. Sometimes learning together makes the journey easier and more fun, and you can support each other. Before we finish, I just want to say, you're doing great. Keep going. Keep practicing your English. Keep learning new life skills, and keep believing in yourself. You have the strength and ability to set healthy boundaries and create the life you truly want and deserve. Thank you again for being here with me today. I can't wait to talk with you in the next episode of English in Fluency. Until then, take care. Be kind to yourself, and remember, you are worth it.